you've left me absolutely no choice. You've forced my hand, and to all those who haven't seen one of our YouTube videos before, I really apologize that you have to witness this. Because here I was trying to be a respectable YouTuber, talking about respectable crypto projects that have the chance to 10x our portfolio. But apparently that's not enough for you. And instead, you sent me to the absolute bowels of the crypto world, the dirty, dirty sewers of the blockchain, to try and find you a 1000x portfolio. Because I mean, after all the big chains that are currently in the billions of dollars of market caps were all just degen altcoins at one stage. ADA 100x'd, Polygon 450x'd, Solana 500x'd, and even ETH 1000x'd. And you should see some of the comments and the hate that Ethereum received when it first launched. So here's what I return with: a 3-part video series about my shameful adventures to find these 10 degenerate projects that could potentially 1000x our portfolio. And all I ask in return, hit that like button down below, put on your 1000x hat, and let's jump in. So let's get all the important stuff out on the table first. 1000x. It's an extremely tall order. I mean, of all the big blockchains that I listed at the start of this video, Ethereum really is the only one to have a clean 1000x. I can't actually pretend that this portfolio that I'm about to present is going to be a legitimate 1000x, because it's just a little bit too insane. The closest thing I know to the 1000x was the Casper coin, which I've talked about so many times here on the channel. We first mentioned it at a $28 million market cap, and it's now at $160 million market cap. And yes, I could potentially see that getting to a $16 billion market cap if everything goes to plan. But in reality, there's no Ethereum killers in the bowels of the cryptoverse. There's nothing that I can see that is going to remotely come close to a clean 1000x. So you should treat this more as a 50 to 100x portfolio. Because I mean, let's be real. If you invested $10,000 because you're completely insane into one of these projects and it went ahead and 10x'd, you're probably just going to end up taking your money out because you've made 90 grand off an absolute terrible token. And secondly, I want you to understand that this portfolio is like trying to get to the moon using gunpowder and horse and cart. It's risky, but technically not impossible. In fact, we made you a really awesome risk scale so you can see exactly what you're getting into. And at the top, we have the S&P 500, which has given you almost a 12% return on your investment since its inception 60 years ago. Then all the way down the chart, we have something like Bitcoin, which is still a high risk investment, especially considering the BTC core saga with Craig Wright, the original Satoshi, who holds the keys to an absurd amount of Bitcoin, has actually threatened to crash the whole thing, but that's beyond this video. Subscribe, we talk about that more here on the channel. Then we have the top 10 crypto, the Polygons, the ADAs, the Solanas. They're even more risky than a Bitcoin to get into. And then of course we have the top 100 tokens, which have much smaller market caps, so higher risk, high reward. Then Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme sits about here on the risk scale. I mean, technically could be quite profitable if you just knew when to get out, but insanely stupid and risky to get into. And then we have the top 1000 cryptos that we've been breaking down in our Patreon one by one, to find the hidden gems and separate them from the rug pulls. And then you have sending your money to a Nigerian prince who just appears in your Gmail inbox. And after that, you'll find exactly where we are now, talking about the top 10,000 crypto project. A space where almost everything that we bump into is a rug pull, a scam, or a get-rich-quick scheme by the founders, and we're trying to find the gold. But we're there now, so we're grabbing everything shiny and we're returning back with the top 10 token. And I'll have you know, it took a lot to get it down to these top 10. Because you probably don't know, but there is a total of 22,695 cryptocurrencies out there. All the way from Bitcoin to Christmas Doge, valued at just a $3,000 market cap. But how do we go from 23,000 down to 10 tokens? Great question. We applied the following filters to the CoinGecko crypto list. The token had to be under a $5 million fully diluted market cap, because of course if we want a $500,000 project to 500x, it needs to reach a $250 million market cap. But if it's already a $10 million valuation, it needs to reach a $5 billion market cap. And so if we want to give it potential to grow, we need to have this filter in place. These tokens then had to have more than $100,000 of daily trading volume. This is because we want to remove any project that's been rug pulled, that's a scam, that is dead, or just has absolutely zero interest. And then we applied a personal preference filter of not having a comical amount of zeros in the price of the token. Because I mean, after all, out of the top 100 cryptocurrencies, there's only 4 cryptocurrencies with more than 3 zeros after the decimal place. And anytime I see something with 8 or 9 zeros, it's normally just another scam. We then took out any tokens without price volatility either up or down in the last 30 days. This is to remove pegged assets on stablecoins. And strangely, after all those filters, there was still over 1,000 cryptos that met this criteria. So we decided a last good criteria to apply would be to remove any project that has trended down more than 15% in the last 30 days. Why? Because if we wanted to ride any of these wild animals, we at least want to jump on one that's heading in the right direction with a strong tailwind. And so this cut the 23,000 tokens down to a manageable total of 147 projects. And at this point, the machines could go no further. So me and my brother Twilly55 put our gloves on and jumped on in to manually sort through, assess, and rank each of these tokens against each other. Now I can tell you, out of these 147 tokens, most of them are still absolutely terrible. But by the end of the day, we did return from this pile of crappy tokens, heads hung in shame, with a golden bag of 36 crypto projects that might just have the potential to make our dreams come true. And of course, we've made this full list available to all of our amazing Patreons, and the link to that is in the description if you're not already part of the community. But for those of you who are only here for the free stuff, this video is the first of a 3-part series where we'll be revealing the 10 degenerate but potentially massive projects. So what are the first 3 tokens in the portfolio? Well, the first token is called Poison Finance, and it's actually impressed me with its blockchain technology, and it has a fun, old school video style game sort of website. What does Poison Finance do? Well, Poison describe themselves as a synthetic protocol democratizing asset management, serving stocks, commodities, and ETFs on Arbitrum, BSC, and ETH 24/7. Poison Protocol is a magic wand that lets you invest in and create multi-chain synthetic potions that track the price of real-world assets. Synthetic potions are intended to be used as key building blocks in smart contracts, be it a DEX or a game. Right now on their website, they have popular assets like gold, silver, and even Tesla stock, and it works like an oracle that will allow real-world data to exist on the blockchain. Beyond that, why did the Poison Finance token make the final 10? Well, they are a brand new January 2023 token, and they have not seen a bull market yet. And despite this, they're actually up 850% in the last 30 days. So it's sort of the token we wish we actually found 30 days prior to this, when it had just a tiny speck of a market cap. But despite that, the chart still is very bullish, and they have a very active Twitter with great engagement, great graphics, and it's not one of those spammy projects who just buy themselves 100,000 followers after tweeting 10 times. They still only have a few thousand genuine followers. Now, it is already at a $12 million market cap because of that almost 10x in the last 30 days. And it snuck through our $5 million filter because it grew so quickly. So definitely, if I haven't given you enough warnings, be very careful with this token, because if you weren't thinking about it already, they could rug pull us at any time, the founders are anonymous, and finally the legalities, especially in the US, of having financial instruments reflecting the real world assets is not very clear at all. And that's exactly why we'll be lighting 11% of our portfolio on fire and putting it into the Poison Protocol, which takes us to our second token, Fabwell, which unlike Poison is actually an older project from November 2021. And normally this long-term downtrend that the graph is shaped like would have me very pessimistic about the project. But actually looking into this back in July of last year, we're actually quite surprised with what they're producing, the team, and the infrastructure that's currently in place. And right now they are only at a $3.5 million fully diluted market cap, despite having over $500,000 of daily trade volume. So it shows you that the project and token is still alive, and it has a lot of room to grow. The simplest way to describe what Fabwell do is they're a poor man's gala game. They're a metaverse and gaming studio who self-reportedly creates high-end gaming ecosystems and amplify the fun with in-game NFTs, play to earn, and DeFi. Fabwell actually have a decent-sized team for under a $4 million project, and they've actually developed a fully functional Call of Duty shooter-like game and continue to actively build, even declaring that they're going to get into the mobile gaming industry. They also have developed FanWelt, which aims to become a fantasy blockchain-based sports league, and they're also on both the Binance and the Polygon chain, which are both great feeless alternatives to Ethereum for blockchain games. However, their site is very clunky, their games suffer from a severe lack of players, and once again, this team could run away at any time, which is exactly why we're burning another 11% of our portfolio and buying the Fabwell token. And like I mentioned, we actually came across the Fabwell token last July, and we published it here on our channel at just 0.0013 cents and a $500,000 market cap. And we continue to discover these gems using social arbitrage trading, because we have found that one of the best ways to get the biggest returns in crypto is to copy trade the biggest crypto influencers like Alex Becker. Why? Because it's basically like a social insurance policy where he has millions of followers that anytime he gets into a project, he's probably going to recommend it to his fans, and it's going to absolutely pump through the roof. So we set up a simple software that will notify you exactly when people like Alex Becker, Gary Vee, or Elio Trades buy a crypto or an NFT, so you can research and get in exactly when they do and not wait till they shill it to their millions of followers. So if you want an awesomely supportive community, access to the influencer buy alert software, and deep research and education through the top 1,000 cryptocurrencies trying to save you hours in your research, you're gonna love our Patreon community. I'll leave the link in the description below for you to join, and we'll be really excited to see you in there. Which takes us to the third token, and the final token of this video, Teabag. Teabag is a meme token that uses both social and financial incentivizations, and it actually makes a profit. It currently has just 5,000 Twitter followers, which once again is a refreshing change of pace down in the sewers of the blockchain, where most projects are just buying fake followers and have very little engagement. And Teabag has developed a software called Bagbot, which is an AI-powered, fully autonomous and decentralized live mentions and rating bot for crypto community. Bagbot uses AI to automatically find viral Twitter and Telegram posts, alert about them, raid them with the community, and execute buybacks and burns, all using the simple UI of a Telegram bot. If that makes absolutely no sense to you, fair enough. Here's what they do in much simpler terms. Like our community, they've realized that social influence is the bigger decider whether a token will take off and skyrocket or crash to zero. So they monitor Twitter and Telegram mentions of any token or a project on behalf of that project, obviously through a fee, and then incentivize the Teabag community through the Teabag token to actually go and give you engagement, interaction, or any other socially incentivized goal that you may have for your project. And through the use of the Bag token, you can make tweets more viral or more positive in sentiment about your token. Have a look at a couple of examples here. This is a Telegram raid automation that the bot has found. The objective is to raid the channel post with 40 comments, and the reward is a 0.5 Ethereum buyback of the actual Teabag token. So the Teabag community is incentivized to go and leave 40 positive comments on this Telegram group. Or here's another even more fun one. This is Conquer Coal, and the objective is to make Vitalik tweet about Teabag. If you can make this happen, you win a 3 Ethereum reward in Teabag tokens. And in the last 24 hours alone, Teabag has made 2.5 Ethereum from ads. In addition, the raid's revenue is used to buy back Bag and burn it for good. Now, this is a meme token. It has already pumped once again, and it is risky. That's why we're also adding 11% of Teabag to our degenerate portfolio, and I really hope that you don't do the same. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe so you can see the rest of this portfolio in part 2 and 3. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.